Hey guys, this is Torna, and today we're going to be talking about the Path of Aeldari with my Path of Aeldari event guide. We're going to be going through some tips and tricks for you guys to kind of help you out, get as far as possible for you, and hopefully be able to get a decently sized Calandis to be able to kind of use her later on alongside the rest of the Aeldari that are coming along as well. Now you can see here there's 13 days remaining, and it's possible for you to be able to get up to an epic 1 potentially, maybe even an epic 2 if you're really lucky for her, from what I've heard in the beta and for the previous ones of these, the Trial of Faith, people were able to get a decent sized version of this character, and that's really good. This is really free to play friendly, so hopefully you guys will try and go as hard as you can to try and get her, because while she may not seem important at the moment, there's not like a campaign or anything around the Aeldari or anything. Once they're all in the game, we could definitely potentially see a campaign for them down the road, so you want to make sure that you've got her up as high as possible. Now if you don't actually understand how the event works, it's pretty complicated. It's a little bit around the place. So basically the way it works is we're going to be earning shards for this character. Now how do we get those? You're going to be getting them from these. While it does say Path of Aeldari shards, they're basically like, character shards, the same as any other character shards. As you get them this up there, then she's going to get upgraded and everything, and it's pretty easy. So there's a few different ways to be able to get them. The first one here is whenever you complete this with the path points, you're going to get a payout. So that's 95 there. You've also got a daily payout, which is tied to where you're at on this leaderboard. So getting more path points than you're upgrading yourself in this leaderboard is obviously very important. And then there's going to be a weekly payout as well. So at the end of the week, you're going to be getting some based on where you are. And then finally, these missions over here have some of them as well. So then you're going to be able to slowly open up more of these chests. Opening up more of the chests gives you more character shards, and boom, you're going to be ranking her up pretty easily. So the aim here is to get as many of these path points as fast as possible, because these path points are going to directly feed into you getting a higher daily payout and then a higher weekly payout at the end of the week, and then also obviously getting more waystone fragments immediately. So how do we do this? Basically just earn as many path points as you can. These are going to be done by collect them from either doing campaigns, arena, or raids. So the missions, as you can see here, there's basically like this mission that's going on, this set of 20 missions that's going on for the next 13 days basically. Each of these missions is going to have different stuff. I'm going to pop them up right now so that way we can go through them. There's a few in here that we're able to cheese, stuff like the 100 campaigns, as you can see here in the in the fifth one here. That's going to be pretty easy to cheese, because you can do that by going to the very early campaigns. In the start of the Indominus campaign, there's ones in here that only cost like 3 energy. And by cheesing those, you're then able to complete the 100 campaigns easy, because instead of, you're basically completing it in half the time, because most of the rest of the missions cost 6 energy kind of to be able to complete. So doing this, you can able to be able to complete them pretty easily by going through and just doing all the 3 energy ones instead. The guild raid one isn't too bad. It's just going to be you damaging the guild boss as much as possible, and if you try and save up your guild boss runs, so that way if you're getting close to this one, then you've got it as soon as it ticks over. Like as soon as you get to that one where you're playing the 3 salvage runs, then save your guild raid bosses, so that way you're at guild raid attacks, so that way you've got them ready as soon as you complete that one to be able to go through there and be able to get it. Next one here, the healing one, number 6 there, healing 2,500 damage and dealing physical damage. The healing is actually pretty easy if you do the early campaigns within the Indominus mirror. Just bring in your 3 different your 3 different Necrons, sit them all in a clump together, and then as they take damage, they're just going to heal themselves up. You basically just want to be able to kind of just sit there, pass the turns. You're going to slowly heal up every time you take damage, and hopefully your Necrons are high enough that they're not going to be able to die there. Either that, or you can cheese it by going into, like, say, one of the early Indominus ones, and just have your healer dude just constantly healing every single turn, every time you kind of take any damage there. The one to use the all Xenos lineup is pretty easy in either early mirror, so early Indominus mirror here with the with the Necrons, just using your Necrons there to kind of go through that, or you could just do it in like the salvage run or something like that as well. It's actually not too difficult. You just want to make sure that you save your hits for some of the different game modes as well. So save your salvage runs for when you're getting close to that one, save your arenas for when you're getting close to that one as well, save your onslaughts, those kinds of things. So that way when you tick over, it's going to be pretty easy. And as we know, as we kind of figured out so far, they seem to be basically the same as the Roswitha ones, which were the Trial of Faith ones, except obviously changing stuff from like Necrons to other characters, or Imperial to Xenos instead. So it's basically just kind of following that same kind of thing. So other stuff to kind of keep in mind when you've got the Blackstone spare and you want to kind of do this, purchasing energy during this event is going to be helpful, because energy just directly converts into more Path of Aeldari path points. So more path points obviously is important, so consider spending your Blackstone on that. I'd probably do like the initial watch ad one, and then maybe 2 more after that, so the 50, and then I believe it's 110, all 3 of those, and then that's going to help you burst through there. The points for campaigns, so each of the different game modes has a different way that you're going to be able to get Waystone points. So this one here, this is obviously the 75 Anufet here. So how we get stuff is 3 per per stamina spent. So boom, that's going to be 18 from there. 1 per difficulty, so you can see up here the difficulty is 4 there, and 1 per difficulty for the lightning victory, so you get an extra 1 if you get the lightning victory, -1 for each defeated character, +1 for enemy power. So you can see here enemy power there. So the rating scores as if you had 0 people die, and as if you got the lightning victory, as long as you've done the lightning victory before. So if you want, you can just obviously use the raid button. Like, the raid button still rewards you decently. It rewards you as if you played it perfectly, you lost 0 characters, and as if you scored points for the lightning, as long as you've completed the lightning on that before. I don't think I've completed the lightning on this, because, you know, 3 rounds to defeat Anufet, I don't think I've done it before. So you'll see here, I'll get 23 points. I'm just missing out on like the lightning victory one, basically. So it's decent to be able to raid, at least, like you're not losing out on by raiding or anything, as long as you've like obviously completed it the best way you can. Next up is Arena. Arena is going to reward you some as well. Some of them are a little bit like hidden in here. It's not as clear. So you got to click on the little path points thing. So you can get 6 per difficulty. So here, this is a 2 difficulty for me. So I'll get 12 from that, -1 per difficulty for each defeated character. So as like if I lose anyone, then I obviously lose that, and then +0 for enemy power, because, you know, the enemy power is less than mine. There's none actually either that are stronger than me, so I can't see, but you get additional ones if the enemy is power, like if you're punching up here, and you get obviously you want to not lose people, you want to try and keep everyone alive as well. And then for raids, down here is the final one. Raids is here. So this is obviously a bit confusing. It's not very, very clear. Like, it's literally just, hey, losses are acceptable, no fear. It's basically based on how much damage you deal to the boss. So as you kind of deal damage to the boss, you're going to be able to slowly kind of work your way up here. The more damage you deal to the boss, so if you manage to kind of get this epic stand, then you're going to be able to basically get 40 points. Otherwise, you're down here with 2 if you get absolutely curve stomped. It's a bit annoying because obviously at the moment we're almost like halfway through. We're almost mostly killed this rare one here. So things are a lot more difficult now, at least for where I'm sitting. So if you're like in an easy, like if you're defeating the bosses pretty easily, then you're going to get decent points from that. At the moment, it's a bit more difficult for us because we're kind of punching up a fair bit here. So things are not going so well. So yeah, just try and get as many early points as you can. These don't actually reward you any waystone points. They reward you mission XP instead. These banners look very similar to me, sorry. You don't have to kind of stress too much about completing them as fast as possible, but there is ways to be able to cheese them so that way you're able to complete them. The other one here is that this one here, the one that's deal damage with abilities, Vindicta, where is she? Vindicta's passive, the AoE flame that deals damage around, also counts as an ability. So any of that damage that kind of hits anyone around, you're going to be able to use that to get the additional ability damage there, which is pretty helpful, obviously. But that's it for today, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I actually really like this. I'm pretty excited. I've already got them up to 1 star already, and I'm planning on pushing as fast as I can and as hard as I can, so that way I can try and see how high we can kind of get a character as like a new character in this game. But that's it for today, guys. Have a great day and goodbye.